Hey, what's up, my witches? It's me, Luna, and I'm here on kind of a chaotic morning. And number one, I'm shooting this on October 9th, 2024. Happy birthday, John Lennon. And so many prayers going out to the people in the path of Hurricane Milton. um, Almost in like solidarity. Not too long after I got up this morning, we had a flooding event in our apartment. Fortunately, it we had minimal. Unfortunately, our next door neighbor, who's also a good friend, got her slammed. They're replacing her flooring and her baseboards and everything. And it's because people at the end of our buildings that have babies are flushing wipes. So, PSA, baby wipes are not flushable in any way, shape, or form in any toilet whatsoever. Just don't flush them. Anyway, main concern is for everyone in harm's way. There's already tornadoes happening. So I'm here to give both of us a little bit of respite with an unboxing and a walkthrough and a test drive. Please stick around to the end because I always test drive my decks. And even though, even when I don't get topical, they're readings for the collective, somehow they tend to talk about what's happening. Anyway, okay, wipe. Here we go. This is the Curious Travels Tarot deck, and I was not even aware of this. I haven't been keeping track of new releases for a while, but I was made aware of it from the Hermit's Cave. I think his name's Martin. Saw his unboxing go by and went, okay, and spent my patron money. Thank you, my wonderful patrons. I spent my patron money to buy this deck. So, Curious Travels by Amelia Rosier in the new style of box. This is the US Games big box style. I love this kind of angling. So, there's not a cut for the thumbs, but it's done this way. I think that's beautiful. And if you can see, there it is. If you can see, we have gilding. I heard that. I heard our toilet just go bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, okay.
That was me draining the sink because we can use water now.
Okay. And now you have the news. So I can actually wash my face when I'm done with this video. Yippee. Anyhow, this was just released in June or July of this year. So let's go in and take a look. There we go. Very nice sunshiny yellow. That's a Leo color for sure. Here's the book. Nice little ribbon pull. Nice little book. We don't have full images. We just have like the main figures, I would say, from the cards, which is nice. It's a nice reference. The Curious Travels Tarot deck, created by Amelia Rosier, is comprised of 79 original watercolor illustrations. I have the utmost respect for watercolorists. It's terrifying. This deck is a product of love and inspiration, created with materials inherited from her grandmother. Throughout the creative process, each card was hand-drawn in ballpoint pen, painted in watercolor, and detailed with sparkling gold leaf paint. This deck is heavily inspired by the Rider-Waite deck in structure and in symbolism. From the 22 cards of the major arcana to the 4 suits of the minor arcana, Curious Travels incorporates new themes throughout the deck, such as the diverse animal kingdom, anthropomorphic characters, and expressive stylizations of traditional cards. The art of tarot has been interpreted and reinterpreted for centuries, grounded by the artistic symbolism within each card. These symbols are brought together to create small stories throughout the deck, stories of love, pain, excitement, new beginnings, wonder, and so much more. As long as the art of tarot reading exists, these stories will remain fluid and ever-changing to provide insight into one's specific life experience. What makes this deck special is not only its traditional value, but also its ability to tell new stories. With just one flip through of this deck, you will find strength underneath a lion's gaze, wander with knights and kings, and dance beside stars. When reading with this deck or by simply viewing the cards, you will become part of its story, and an important one at that, for there is no journey to be had without a curious traveler. And then we're straight into the cards. You know, it is refreshing. I like that there's a reference in the beginning to the Waite-Smith deck, and I think that's enough of an indication that if you have no clue about Waite-Smith, you might want to start there, but that we don't have all of the stuff. So we get a description, we get upright and reversed. And if we go to the back, and that's it, look. We go to the back, there's a bonus card, which I'll wait till we encounter in the deck. There's the Curious Traveler's Spread. You're itching for a new adventure because before starting out, keep in mind, as you take action, be wary of, how do you see yourself changing throughout pursuit of these goals? As you go forward, what should you hold close to your heart? I am absolutely going to use that spread. Okay, about the creator. Amelia Rosier is a young illustrator from Connecticut who has always been fond of creative and mystical things. As an illustrator, she tries to tell stories wherever she can through any medium possible. Watercolor is especially close to her heart. Her interest in tarot began when she discovered the artwork of Pamela Coleman Smith, illustrator of the traditional Rider-Waite tarot, the traditional Waite-Smith tarot deck. When the quarantine of 2020 drove the world into lockdown, she decided to explore tarot further by creating a deck of her own. She currently resides in Providence, Rhode Island, with two small rabbits, Soup and Meatball. I hope the rabbits don't know what their names are. And we get a couple little pages for notes. And then that's it. And oh, this is one of the things that made me go for it. It's interesting. I was expecting this to be gilded because the book very much reminds me of the Mind's Eye Tarot, not the book, the packaging. Mind's Eye Tarot and Fyodor Pavlov, both of which are gilded decks. This one is not. But we can see there's gilding on the cards, and the most exciting part, it's linen cardstock. Yum, yum, yum. All right, let's get in here. Why am I yum-yumming over linen cardstock? If you don't have any experience with linen cardstock, you just need to experience it. It's amazing. The cards are indestructible. They're soft and shuffleable. Here is the back. So we've got this kind of spiky thing and a couple of crowns and a couple of crescents, and obviously reversible or non-directional, as I usually say. So here's the Fool. And right off the rip, we see that we have entirely departed from the imagery of the Waite-Smith. But what we have is this little monkey hanging onto a vine, stretching down with this golden thing. Now, my first question is he putting that in the alligator's mouth or taking it out of the alligator's mouth? Either way would be rather foolish. We've got this kind of sunny thing. So let's go to the book and see how she talks about things. The Fool is bright and optimistic, eager to jump into the unknown. He descends from another world up in the trees to reach his hand into the mouth of a crocodile, the reality of which seems to be the last thing on his mind. Instead, he's a dreamer thinking about what might happen if he reaches the golden flower he so desperately wants. So that's a flower, and the monkey is reaching to get it. So this talks about the Fool being when we just get so enthused about, oh, look at that we step right off a cliff. All right, that makes total sense. And now I'm getting warm because I'm starting to talk about stuff. It was very chilly this morning. All right, then we have the Magician. There's the gilding, the cup. So he's got a wand in his hand, and look at the little face on the tree. I was thinking the tree is the wand, but he's holding a wand, and we have a cup, and then we have this triple thing there. So I don't really see all the elements. That's for water, that's for sure. We've got earth, wood, but, and I guess is this a curtain of rain? Air? Fire is what I really don't see. Anyhow, the borders are interesting too, because there's like a border and then there's a border. All right. The High Priestess. She's beautiful. I love the veil on her face. She's holding a pomegranate. And we have the towers. We have, so the crescent. And the Empress. Look at the stars. She also is holding, she's holding the other half of the pomegranate. Interesting. So we've got kind of two facets, lunar facets here. And we've got this circular inset. Ooh, the Emperor. I really love that he's got this ram's head mask on. Here's the Hierophant. So we've got that crown. Look at the lovers, these two elephants. Interesting choice. I understand the choice of owl for the Hierophant, wisdom, knowledge. The elephants, I mean, elephants are matriarchal societies. They form deep bonds. They care for each other. So, yeah, that makes sense. And the Chariot. So we have the focus on the horses. And there's that crescent again, little chariot there. So it's interesting because it's like we've taken and really zoomed in on the animals from the traditional. Look at the Strength card. So here she is in the paws of this beautiful, beautiful lion. The art style is exquisitely gorgeous. It's delicate. The Hermit. Wow. I love that the focus is on the light. What was I looking at today? I think it was like oak, tarot, something oak, something of oak. Anyway, it's at the top of my wish list right now on Amazon. But where it was depicted in such a way where it wasn't like the light the hermit is holding is for the hermit to find his way, but shining that light out for others to find their way. And that's what I'm seeing with this. There's both. Here's the Wheel of Fortune, the Sphinx, the Jackal, and the gilding. It's beautiful. Okay. Justice. I'm not going to go on about how they differ from Waite-Smith because you can tell. Here's Justice. I love the walking a tightrope. There's the sword. The repeating double columns. We see that a lot. And you can see where the gilding is there. So she is walking. She's got her eyes either downcast or closed. But look at, we've got the white, the black, that scales, like she is the fulcrum of the scale there. The Hanged Man. And it's a snake that's holding him like that. Yes, beautiful. Here's Death. Oh, again, that crescent, that gilded crescent. Temperance. Look at the child with the angel wings. So Temperance depicts an angel, which is why I always look at it as Aquarian. And look at the little crown, so big that it's falling down over his eyes. He's holding his shoes, 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water. Just this idea of innocence. And the devil, oh, look at the gilding. Yeah. Hey, that's so cool. The Tower. Again, the crown and the lightning are emphasized. Here's the Star. So is multiple arms and a hand reaching down, this veil that looks like a star. That's really interesting. Again, 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the water. Here's the moon. Just a little bit of gilding there. Again, the 2 columns. Here's the sun. That's beautiful. And judgment. Hello, Sauron. Look at that. Wow. Interesting. The gilding looks like exclamation points on the sides there. And there's the world with the 4 fixed sign symbols. I appreciate that always. So they are, for the most part, recognizable if you're familiar with the Waite-Smith system. Here's the Ace of Wands. We have the symbol of the wand here and a Arabic numeral. And the majors have Arabic numerals as well. But they have the titles. There's the wands, the 2 of wands. Okay, this is interesting. So she's sitting on a swing, holding what looks like a giant egg. But her shoe is tied to the tree, so she can't swing. So is this about, this plan isn't quite what I thought it was going to be. I need to revise. And then, ta-da, sending my plan into the wide world, perhaps. There's certainly a lot in the images that you can draw on. Look at the wings. Ah. Wow. I love the image of the bees collaborating to make honey to build the hive. It's all a huge collective, right? Here's the 5. Are they competing? I always saw the 5 as a lot of activity, but not a lot of coordination, that everyone's sort of acting on their own plan rather than coordinating a plan like we do in the 4. You know, we have a structure that's obviously got a plan to it. In 5, it's like, no, let's get this done, but we haven't stopped to coordinate our plans. Here's the 6. And again, look at the hands reaching up. Yay. But again, the focus is on the animal with the wreath of laurels. And here's the 7. He's like, what? And I love this one. It's just like bounding, boing, 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 bounding up the stairs. And the flight here, we definitely get that idea of rapid movement forward. Here's the 9. Using that one kind of living bough, the one gold one, to protect the others that are looking like they've seen better days. And here's the 10. Look at this. Look how you can't see, but then you can. The antlers that look spider-like, and things getting very tangled up. We've gotten tangled up in our own plan. Too complicated, burdensome, overwhelmed. Wow. Here's the page. Look at the little salamander. So we're talking about the traditional creatures of the elements. The salamander is fire, the undine is water, the gnome is earth, and the sylph is air. Here's the knight. Oh, beautiful red fiery horse with the salamander. Here's the queen. What a sweet face with a kitty cat. And the king is just a flame. He is a flame. Kind of wacky. All right, there's the Ace of Cups. The 2, these snakes twining around. But look at the fire. I mean, fire of passion, but this is a water suit. Interesting choice there. Here's the 3. That certainly looks like a celebration, a fall celebration. Here's the 4. Okay. Get an idea of that self-satisfaction there. I'm very comfy in my spot and I don't want to let anything else in. Here's the 5. Look at the bridge. So we definitely get the Waite-Smith image, 3 cups down, 2 remaining. But then there's this bridge that looks like a crown. So is this talking about loss being a bridge to something new? Is this talking about like being in the middle of it, not here, not there? Yeah, could be. Could be both. Here's the 6 of cups. I'm going to show you how Mom always did my hair. And there's the 7. We have a head, we've got a crown, a snake, crystals, castle, dragon, laurels, all the usual. And this serpent again coming up. So are we using serpents as the symbol of water? We'll see. Here's the 8, walking away. The 9, but look at how, okay. So all the cups are upturned, overturned. That's what I'm looking for. Are they pouring out their blessings on her? It's almost like a reflection of the 9 of Swords. And there's the 10. Look at the sun and the moon. Oh, that's very sweet. Here's the page. There's a fish. There's the Knight. Pouring out water. Look at the cloak with all the fishes. Here's the Queen, who is the fish. And then the King, who is also a fish. So she's got all this abundance and the food and stuff, and he's just got the scepter and the cup. Here's the swords. The 2. Oh, wow. That makes an impact. Here's the 4. Very recognizable. The 5. See, this card has evolved for me over the years. 5 and 7 of Swords were the ones for the longest time that I just didn't understand. I didn't connect with them. But this is about bullying, about being a sore winner, about there being never enough. Yes, I've defeated you, but now I have to have all the swords and I have to gloat about it. Yeah. Here's the 6, again, recognizable with those beautiful gilded swords and sun. And here's the 7, Fox. So that idea of being shifty and sly, I guess. Foxes get such a bad rap. There's the 8 of Swords. We do have a blindfold there. And the 9, pretty standard. And so is the 10. Oh my. But we get this. Is that the blanket? Is that blood? And these, these kind of cockeyed crescent moons. Here's the page. He's recognizable. Here's the Knight. So here's the first time we really get, recognizable quartz, I think. There's the Queen. All kinds of butterflies. So in the clouds, you get the idea of air there. And then there's the King. And then we got Pentacles. The 2, again, we've got 4 arms. So he's got all the arms he needs to juggle the resources. There's the 3. And we have whales swimming in a pod waiting to attack another yacht. Here's the 4. How interesting that the coins are not gilded on this one. So we're holding on to something that we think is valuable and we're missing where the real gold is. Awesome. The subtle, but really, really cool. Here's the 5 of coins. All right, it's broken. Are these people reaching to give assistance? Are they? And look at these hands lying down. Assistance is right there. I just have to reach up and take hold of the hands rather than focusing on what's been lost. Again, there are some teachings embedded in these images that I'm finding very cool. There's the 6 of coins. I like the scale. Mine, which one's mine, you know, and the idea that somebody's balancing it. Then we've got the 7, the little gilded stars. The 8, very descriptive of the traditional. I like the foreshortened coins there. The 9, again, we have, it's not like she's in the garden, it's like she is the garden. The grapevines and everything are all her clothing, and she's got all of these pentacles here, but again, these ones aren't gilded, but the sun is. Very interesting. And back to 11s. Elephants. Elephants. Again, that strong family idea. Here's the page. She reminds me of another deck. Is it Everyday Enchantment? Don't know. There's the Knight. There's the Queen, and she is plants. And there's the King. So is he, or at least he's got a crown of them. And then we have the extra card, which is the Travelers. So let's go to the book and read about the extra card now. Bonus card, the Travelers. The Travelers card was created by the artist specifically for the Curious Travels Tarot deck. It signifies forward motion and adventure. It's optional for the reader to include it. If pulled in a reading, it has the same meaning regardless of orientation. You are bound for fresh experiences, and it's important not to lose yourself in the wave of new opportunities and fresh faces. Take time to reflect on past memories and cherish them as you step into something new. Do your best to document these new adventures as you begin. Start a photo book, video diary, or journal. Your future self will thank you for it. So we see these 4 people, and we've got a couple little spots of gilding, and they're, you know, there's planets, globes, they're working things out scientifically, they're planning things together. There's a magnifying glass, they're searching. Very cool. All right, let's give her a blessing, eh? It really is a beautiful deck. It does add something to the conversation. I love when artists let us into their own mind and are so very adept at conveying, you know, their nuanced thoughts about a traditional image in the way that they alter their image. It's just a fascinating thing, and absolute proof that artists are magicians and witches. They have the gift of magic, let's put it that way. By air and fire, may you be purified and charged. My little seawater, by water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And I never have an issue or any fear or trepidation about putting the salt water on a linen deck, because it's just not going to hurt it. They're wonderful. And by the sound of the bell, may the spirit awaken. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, I'm tuning into you to say thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing us messages that we need in this extremely stressful time. It's October of 2024. It's extremely stressful times. I know we're all feeling it, so that's your validation. And I offer my guides and guardians fresh water. I offer you the fire of Azrael to bring the spirit of divination forth from this deck. All right, first shuffle, you can see, okay, test of a deck. This is almost too big because when I put it in my hand like that, it's just there, but I can still, do this until I get down to, where it's easier to do that. So again, almost a little too tall, but not quite. So first riffle, and these decks, of course, yeah, look at this. It's like butter. Let me shuffle it face up once. I check the difference because sometimes it shuffles better face up. Sometimes there's just the tiniest little bit of lip that will make it so when you're riffle shuffling, the cards drop in chunks rather than, yeah, see, they're kind of chunky. But if I do it this way, they're not so chunky. And then I will stop blathering on. Hey, that's a skill issue. All right, so in the times that we were going to use that 5-card spread from the back of the book. Yes. Okay, so the Curious Traveler's Spread. Let me put this under the box, which isn't going to work at all. All right, whatever. Curious Traveler's Spread. My daughter does a really interesting technique when she's picking cards. She shuffles. If there's not a jumper, she'll take the top card, put it in the position, and then she reshuffles. She reshuffles for every card that she lays out. She's an oracle reader mostly. She reads for herself. Okay, here we go. There's number 1. So number 1 is you're itching for a new adventure because. Number 2, before starting out, keep in mind. 3, as you take action, be wary of. How do you see yourself changing throughout pursuit of these goals? As you go forward, what should you hold close to your heart? Okay, so we have a couple of majors. We have a couple of cups and a wand. We don't have any quartz, so we might go back and look for a quart. Okay, so the first one is you are itching for a new adventure because, and we get the Lover's card. Now here's where this is an acid test for a deck, because when you put a spread in and you have your own categories for those spreads, your cards better be structured to answer the questions those categories are asking. So we're itching for a new adventure because. All right, the description. The lovers are imagined here as 2 young elephants completely devoted and entranced by each other underneath a divine eye. These elephants exist somewhat outside of older interpretations of this card regarding womanhood and gender. Womanhood for the lovers, really. Instead, they focus more on general expressions of loving and finding healthy balances in a relationship. Their trunks are intertwined between them, a physical expression of love. But they're not intertwined. Okay. It may look easy, but it's a delicate dance to maintain. Pull too hard and you might strangle your partner. Relax too much, you could lose them. There's more to relationships than just physical expression. Also consider emotional and spiritual needs. So I'm sad that the trunks aren't, in fact, intertwined. They're just pressed up against each other. So the things that she described are not depicted. It gives me a sad. All right, well, continuing. Upright, so we are itching for a new adventure because, upright, you are building lots of healthy connections, romantic or platonic. This card could point to finding a soulmate, calls you to be vulnerable as you meet new people. Practice open communication and keep working to better yourself for the sake of your relationships. I will read the reverse just on this first one. This card suggests there's a lack of communication in your life, specifically regarding your loved ones. Sorry, I'm hearing weird noises. You could feel as though you've hit a rough patch with a friend or significant other, perhaps due to unspoken and unrequited feelings. Prepare to make difficult decisions in the near future. So we're itching for a new adventure because we're building healthy connections, and or maybe because we need these healthy connections. Is what we're looking for. Maybe a soulmate, or to really find the people that we connect with on a very deep level, not just a superficial social level. Okay. Before starting out, keep in mind, and here's the 5 of Cups. The description says, a depressed figure stands beneath a distant bridge, overcome with guilt and regret. The bridge and mountain range, I mean, it looks like that bridge is floating in midair. The bridge and mountain range represent a world rich with new experiences, but the figure seems to be rooted in place. Oblivious to the 2 cups behind them, they focus only on the 3 knocked over in front. Similar to the 4 of Cups, this person needs to open their eyes to the new opportunities around them instead of dwelling on the past. Okay. Before starting out, keep in mind, to put it simply, you're stuck in the past. Okay. So we're itching for a new adventure. We want new people. We want to really connect with people on a deeper level, more spiritually, more based in love, whether that's friendship or romantic. And we need to keep in mind that we're stuck in the past, you know. How can we help but be stuck in the past right now when we've got some people that are trying to haul us there? Perhaps you've been through something traumatic, or you have struggled to meet your goals. Whatever it may be, it's caused you to approach life with a sense of defeat and victimhood. Maybe these dark feelings are familiar to you. It makes sense for familiar feelings to be comforting, so do not blame yourself for resorting back to them. However, comfortable or not, you will need to actively change your perspective in order to move forward. So graphically here, this person is facing the past and dwelling on the losses of the past, refusing to see that there is a bridge here to the present where there are 2 cups full. And that's a much better way to head into the future. So one of the reasons we're itching for a new adventure is because we're kind of stuck in the past and we're getting over it. Now, as you take action, be wary of, and this is 4 of Wands. Be wary of, I'm not going to read the description. I'm going to go straight to the upright meanings. As we take action, be wary of. It is time for you to celebrate. You might find it difficult to relax at times, but try your best to set your work aside and give yourself a break. Surround yourself with people you love and recognize the hard work and dedication you've been pouring into your goals. It's paid off. You should reward yourself. So it says be wary of. I think what we need to be wary of is not taking any breaks for ourselves, that we're just constantly pushing in action. So there's a balance there. And also to collaborate. I'm going to read the description now. In the 4 of Wands card, 2 bees dance together in the sky. They're rejoicing and reminiscing on their past achievements. 4 flowers grow around them, setting the scene for celebration and comfort. It's a beautiful and joyous moment and is completely deserved in every way. You could also look at this as maybe a little bit too much celebration. Be wary. You know, I think what it's telling us here is we need to be wary of that balance between celebrating and workaholism, you know, work. Also that we need to, and a great way to bridge that is just by collaborating. Okay. And, you know, that can be one of the reasons that we're looking for these like-minded people, more people to connect with, is because we're stuck in the wounds of the past and we have some passion that we really need to create something, but we need to collaborate with someone in order to do it. So that doesn't really tell us be wary of. Okay. How do you see yourself changing throughout pursuit of these goals? And we get the moon. Holy crap. Changing deeply, deeply, deeply inside subconsciously. The moon faces down toward the earth between two towers elevated to a higher plane. A pool of water rests below it. A crayfish reaches up toward the moon, exploring the subconscious world of dreams and innermost thoughts. Past traumatic events might be resurfacing in your subconscious mind, bringing you anxiety in your day-to-day life. You might not know the root of these anxieties yet, but do not be afraid to explore and examine your fears. Lead with your emotions, go with your gut, consider writing down your dreams. So how do we see ourselves changing? We see that we're going to open up and connect more with what's going on in our deep mind, addressing fears that are there from past traumas, that we are going to open up to our emotional life, these deep processes, and in the process gain an intuition. What I'm seeing here is kind of like readers, readers getting together with other readers to really foster their intuition, to make your intuition stronger, to be better able to listen to your emotions and what they're telling you without them running the show. Because this talks about the emotions kind of running the show and sucking you into the past. So this is bringing it more to that intuitive level. And then the last one, as you go forward, what should you hold close to your heart? And we get the Two of Cups. So we need to hold close people that are already close to us. This is fascinating. Two snakes coil together between two cups, finding harmony and excitement in their little realm of passion. They wrap around and gaze at each other, completely entranced and invested in their blossoming relationship. The Two of Cups suggests you've been making deep connections lately. Whether it be with a significant other or a friend, you've been on the same wavelength from the beginning. You're both interested in getting to know each other, and the curiosity to learn is there in spades. Take this as a sign that this relationship is worth pursuing, so don't be afraid to open up on a deeper level. Okay, so we want a new adventure now because we're looking at the bigger relationships. These cards are reflections of each other. The Lover's card and the Two of Cups. So if you're doing a short reading for somebody, like a 10-card reading, and both of those come up, relationship stuff is huge, right? But this is talking about, capital L or capital R relationship where, we think romance and soulmate and once in a lifetime and all that kind of stuff. This is up close and day to day. And since we're talking about the collective here, we're going to go beyond that romance and look at our tribe, the people that feed our soul with or without romance. We're hungry for this right now, for that strong vibe of connection. And we are stuck looking into the past. We have some things to express, but we need to collaborate. We need the support of others in order to do it. We expect that this is going to open us to our own internal emotional world, which is, the gateway of intuition and, the gateway to the collective unconscious. And what was the last one there? What should you hold close to your heart? Literally, what should you hold close to your heart? Those that have stayed, those that have been with you from the beginning, that do acknowledge who you are. We can be saying, we're kind of bored with the same old. We've got like this, here we go. We've got old trauma. And sometimes rather than look at that, we would rather just go on to something new. Just give me a new friendship, a new partnership, a new something. I don't want to look at what we've been through in the past. Just give me somebody new. But what we need to hold close to our heart is those up close personal relationships and friendships that have fed us in the past and that are still there to support us. But in the center, we've got that collaboration. And they're telling me to take one more. And we've got the Hermit. Very interesting. Okay. Where you at? The hermit walks out from the darkness, a lantern lighting his path. The seal of Solomon covers his face and obscures his humanity, suggesting he has ascended to a higher state of being. He does not know exactly where he's going, nor does he need to. He trusts himself and the world around him, finding the answers as he goes. You're prepared to leave distractions behind, choosing to pursue contemplation and isolation for the sake of self-discovery. Let the answers find you naturally when they choose to reveal themselves to you. This card calls you to take a break from materialistic society and social media. Wow. Okay, yeah, take a break. Take a break. It's always a good reminder to, limit our intake when we're feeling overwhelmed. And then we have the Ace of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So there's certainly new beginnings for us, but we start, there's parts here that are talking about maybe finding that new relationship inside, within ourselves, and learning how to be our own best lover, learning how to be our wonderful best friend and how to love ourselves in that way. Because our deep mind has a lot for us to learn here. This is fascinating. And look at the colors. Look at the dark here and the bright here. This is a really strongly intuitive deck. And the writing is good too. I'm sad that the writing didn't really match this image, considering the author and the artist are the same. That always kind of makes me think that maybe something was written and then the image got changed and they forgot to go back and change the writing. At any rate, it's a beautiful deck. I have nothing to argue about with the cardstock. Maybe it's a little big, but it shuffles like a dream. The images are gorgeous. Thank you to Hermit's Cave. I'm going to tag him and thank him for showing this deck because it made me jump on it. What do you think? Drop me a comment down below. Let's have a little conversation. Again, prayers, protection around everyone in the path of this tremendous storm, and I hope to see you on the other side. Until then, this is Luna. Blessed be.